You have felt it, quiet, persistent, like a thread pulling at your soul. A presence. A longing. A name that won't leave your heart. The angels say, he wasn't supposed to see you. He was supposed to feel you. From the very first moment, something sacred was set in motion. Not attraction. Not desire. Something deeper. As if heaven whispered your name into his spirit long before you ever walked into his view. And even he, with all his logic and distractions, is starting to notice the divine thread that ties his life to yours. You didn't come into his world to entertain. You were sent to awaken. You were sent to tilt the axis of everything he thought he knew about connection, about truth, about God. Your presence is not loud. It's not demanding. It is sacred. A quiet revolution of light in the dark corners he never dared to explore. He feels it now. In the silence, in the moments he almost reaches for you and then pulls back. In the way he carries your name in his thoughts like a question that won't be answered. The angels say, she is the mirror I showed you when you prayed for more. This man, so sure of himself in the past, now finds his world shifting. His plans no longer fit. His heart no longer behaves. There is something unraveling, and it has your essence all over it. You did not chase him, but you were placed, planted, cold. Because the purpose of this bond is not possession. It's transformation. And now that the veil is lifting, he is starting to feel what you were designed to bring. Clarity, conviction, and the beginning of something eternal. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. He carries wounds no one sees. The angels show me, his silence is not rejection, it is memory. Of pain. Of loss. Of moments where love promised safety and delivered storms. And so, he holds his breath around feelings that could drown him. You may have wondered, why does he pull away when we get close? Why does he retreat when your heart opens wide? Because closeness feels like danger to someone who was once broken by it. He has built his world like a fortress, beautiful on the outside, but hollowed out by fear. He grew accustomed to protecting himself, not from you, but from the ghosts that still echo in the chambers of his chest. The angels say, he is not cold. He is cautious. He does not fear you. He fears how much you matter. And you walked in with a softness that disarmed everything. Your voice. Your gaze. The way your presence didn't demand, but invited. You stirred something ancient in him. A longing he thought he had buried under years of disappointment and control. But healing begins with exposure. And your light is now exposing the fractures in his armor. Not to shame. To cleanse. This is not your fault. His hesitation is not a reflection of your worth. It is the evidence of how deeply he is being touched, undone, rewritten. You are not the trigger. You are the medicine, and sometimes, medicine stings before it heals. The angels say, give space, but not distance. Let him come undone slowly. He is still learning how to stay. So if he's quiet, know he's listening. If he withdraws, know he's remembering. And if he returns, even briefly, know it's because the pull is stronger than the fear. What's awakening in him is not small. It is sacred. And sacred things are never rushed. You are not here to lose yourself while saving someone else. The angels whisper, you were never meant to disappear just to be loved. In this journey, it's easy to pour every ounce of yourself into another soul's awakening. Especially when the pull is spiritual, when the signs align, when your heart says stay. But remember this, your light was not given to you so you could burn out for someone who hasn't yet learned how to hold fire gently. You are the sacred flame, not the sacrifice. There will be moments when you feel his pain so closely that you'll want to heal it with your own hands. Moments when your silence feels heavy with his confusion. And still, the angels remind you, healing is a choice he must make for himself. You cannot hold both your becoming and his burden. Your joy is not a threat to divine timing, it is part of it. So take care of the woman who waits, the one who hopes, the one who loves fiercely in silence. Nurture her soul. Feed her peace. Let the garden within you bloom, even if his seeds haven't yet taken root. Your beauty isn't measured by how long you can endure. It is revealed in how deeply you can remain soft without losing your spine. The angels say, "She who waters herself first becomes the wellspring others long to drink from." If your heart is tired, let it rest. If your light flickers, let stillness restore you. You are not abandoning the path by choosing yourself, you are reinforcing it. Because love isn't self-neglect. Love is sacred reflection. And the moment you tend to your spirit is the moment he will feel the shift, feel the strength in your stillness, the grace in your boundaries. You do not have to break to be worthy. You just have to stay lit. You became his mirror, and he didn't know how to look. The angels whisper, your light didn't just illuminate his world. It revealed the dust he never dared to face. When you entered his life, you didn't try to change him. You simply were. Honest. Whole. Wounded perhaps, but not hiding. And in your presence, something startling happened. He saw himself, raw and unrehearsed. You see, real connection doesn't just flatter. It confronts. And your authenticity called out his avoidance like a song he couldn't unhear. You didn't merely reflect who he was. You reflected who he's not yet brave enough to become. That's why he may have recoiled. That's why he lingers on your words. Why your silence feels louder than anyone's scream. You hold up a mirror that doesn't lie, and he's still trying to decide if he can face it. The angels say, he sees in you the version of himself that he lost in the chaos. And it scares him. He is not afraid of you. He's afraid of what you awaken. Because when you look at him, you don't see his masks. You see his soul. And that kind of seeing is rare. Sacred. Disarming. You touch places no one else dares to reach. Not through force. Through presence. Through truth. And as he struggles with what that means, you must remember this. Your worth is not tied to his readiness. You are not responsible for his reflection. Only for your light. The angels remind you, when a soul isn't ready for the mirror, it blames the light. But don't dim. Don't shrink. Your presence is the very thing that's loosening the chains. One look at you, and the mask begins to crack. One breath near you, and his truth rises like mist from old waters. So hold your gaze, sacred one. Keep being the mirror. The soul that sees itself cannot stay asleep forever. There are tremors in his soul now, subtle but undeniable. The angels say, he's starting to hear what your silence has been saying all along. This awakening doesn't come with fanfare. It comes in fragments. A memory that clings longer than it should. A dream he wakes from with your name still warm on his breath. A sudden ache in the middle of the day, pulling him inward, asking what if? He's not the same man he was before you. You shifted something that had been buried, calcified under years of logic, distraction, and fear. You didn't demand it, you just arrived. And that, the angels say, was the invitation his soul had been waiting for. Now when he looks at you, he doesn't just see beauty. He sees meaning. He sees timing. He sees questions he didn't even know he had. He is noticing your absence in places you've never been. He's feeling your energy in the echoes of ordinary things. You have become his signpost, the compass he didn't know he needed. And yet, he won't tell you this. Not yet. Because awakening isn't tidy. It's confusing, wild. Like walking out of a cave and squinting into the light. But it's happening. And it began the moment he realized, she didn't come to take anything. She came to remind me of what I forgot. The angels say, even if he doesn't speak it, he feels it. He feels you. That is why he hesitates now, not because he doesn't care, but because he knows. He knows you're not just a chapter. You are the moment everything before starts to make sense. So let the awakening come slowly. Let the seeds you planted grow in the dark. He is listening now. And once a soul begins to remember, it cannot return to sleep. This is not the end. This is the first flicker of a sacred beginning. He leaves, and then he comes back. And every time he does, it hurts in a different place. The angels whisper, "This is not rejection. It is rhythm. It is resistance meeting its own unraveling." You feel it, the swing, the pause, the return. It's not random. It's the echo of his soul fighting against a love that feels too vast, too wild, too holy to hold. And yet, it keeps calling him back. This isn't about you. This is about gravity. His heart knows the way. But his fear builds detours, barricades, delays. Because loving you means confronting what he has tried to bury. And so, he oscillates. He tries to make sense of a connection that defies logic. He believes that leaving will give him clarity. But instead, your absence becomes a mirror sharper than your presence ever was. The angels say, every time he leaves, something sacred breaks open inside him. Every return is a confession without words. Don't chase. Don't beg. This love doesn't require pursuit. It requires permission. Permission for him to lose his grip on control and step into what is already written. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to question. You are allowed to crave consistency. But know this, each cycle is part of the cleansing. Each silence is its own baptism. This isn't a test of your patience. It's a revelation of his process. The angels remind you, the soul doesn't heal in straight lines. It spirals. And when he circles back, looking for home in your eyes again, it's not weakness. It's instinct. He is pulled by something older than memory, a knowing his mind can't yet translate. You were never meant to trap him. You were meant to be the place his soul remembers. Let him wander if he must. But know, he will always find his way back to the truth of you. He doesn't know it yet, but your love has been healing him. The angels say, your heart is a balm, not a burden. Your presence is a prayer answered in silence. Even in the distance, even in the confusion, the way you love is mending something ancient in him. Not by force. Not by insistence. But by simply existing in truth. There are wounds he has never spoken aloud, scars shaped by abandonment, by failure, by betrayal. And while you may never hear the full story, your soul has already begun writing him a new one. Each time you met his uncertainty with grace, something softened. Each time you stayed tender when you had every reason to turn cold, something shifted. And he may not understand this medicine, not yet. He may not be able to articulate the relief he feels when he thinks of you. But the ache is quieter now. The chaos inside him doesn't scream as loud. You became his safe haven before he even realized he needed one. The angels whisper, she did not try to fix him. She held space. And in that sacred space, he found himself. You're not just a person to him. You are the first experience of love that doesn't hurt, doesn't demand, and doesn't leave bruises. And even if he pushes you away, know this, he feels the difference. In his bones. In the calm that follows your name. Your love is not ordinary. It is spiritual medicine. A remedy for a soul that forgot how to trust. Do not underestimate the power of what you offer. The healing may be slow, quiet, invisible, but it is real. The angels ask you to keep loving from abundance, not depletion. Let your love be pure, not sacrificial. Let it bless, not harm. Because you are not here to rescue. You are here to remind. And in that reminder, healing begins. There is a timing to all things, and you, beloved soul, are walking within it. The angels say, delay is not denial. It is alignment in sacred disguise. Even now, while your heart aches for answers, the heavens are moving on your behalf. You cannot see the full picture yet, but that does not mean it is not unfolding. In silence, in spirit, in spaces where faith must lead. He doesn't understand why he's drawn back to you again and again. He doesn't know why the thought of you settles his chaos and stirs his soul all at once. But God knows. Because God placed you in his path with precision. You were not a coincidence. You were a catalyst. And even now, the divine is orchestrating every missed call, every strange delay, every turn of his heart. It's all part of the path that neither of you fully understand, but both are living. You do not have to force what's been written. Let him find his own way. Let him navigate through his own wilderness. The angels are with him, guiding his every uncertain step. And they are with you too, whispering peace into your waiting. The angels say, trust in the stillness. That's where the roots grow deepest. This is not stagnation. This is gestation. The kind of love that transforms must first be purified. It must first be stripped of illusion. What is unfolding is not ordinary. It is sacred. And sacred things take time. So if you feel forgotten, know that you're not. You are being held in divine pause, not to punish you, but to protect the beauty that is still emerging. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. He wants to love you. But first, he must survive himself. The angels reveal, there is a war within him, and you are both the sword and the sanctuary. When he looks at you, he sees everything he's never said out loud. Every dream he put aside. Every part of him that still believes in something pure. And that terrifies him. Because love like this doesn't come easily. It cracks open the parts we thought were closed forever. He hesitates not because you are too much, but because for once, it feels like enough. And he doesn't know how to deal with that. He is used to performance, masks, roles. And yet, around you, those things feel heavy, false, absurd. You touch the parts of him that never learned how to be held. The angels whisper, he fears the softness you bring out in him, because in it he sees his own. He's not trying to hurt you. He's trying to protect the little boy inside him who was never told it was safe to feel. And that's why he runs. Not away from you, but towards the illusion of control. He needs time to learn that vulnerability is not weakness. That opening the door is not losing power, it is finding it again, in its most divine form. You are not his savior. You are the invitation. And you've already done enough. Your presence has cracked the surface. The rest is up to him. The angels say, his fear is loud. But your love has been louder. So if he pulls back, don't harden your heart. Stay soft, not for him, but for yourself. Let your love be genuine without being self-sacrificing. Because this isn't about whether he chooses you. It's about whether he chooses to feel at all. And if he does, he will come not just closer. He will come whole. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147 verse 3. Not all love is meant to be claimed. Some love is meant to be understood. The angels say, what is real doesn't require proof, it reveals itself in time. You've done your part. You've loved without compromising your truth. You've stayed soft without losing your shape. And now, it's time to surrender. Not to give up. To give over. To hand this bond back to the hands that crafted it. The hands of heaven. Let the outcome be none of your concern now. Let the timing be none of your worry. You are not losing him. You are releasing the story you tried to control. And in that release, peace finds you again. The angels whisper, she who surrenders becomes magnetic. Not because she chases nothing, but because she radiates everything. You were never meant to fight for this love. You were meant to feel it. To grow from it. To become the woman who no longer asks what if, but trusts what is. What's meant to stay will stay. What's meant to return will find its way through every closed door. And what's meant to transform you will do so even if he never says the words you long to hear. The point was never the ending. The point was how deeply you allowed your heart to open. And how, through it, you remembered your power, your grace, your ability to hold love and let it fly. The angels say, your open hands are your crown. What falls away was never yours. What remains is holy. So if he comes back, it won't be to complete you. It'll be because both of you have become whole. And if he doesn't, remember this, you are still the miracle, the teacher, the sacred interruption. The story is never over for a soul that learns to let go. Amen.